Hey everyone, it's Richard Metalfan here, bringing you guys an old school album review. And today we're going to be looking into this album's 10-year anniversary, and it's from one of the best, if not the best, in the metalcore genre, and honestly, one of the most underrated bands in the whole genre, in my opinion. And as you can see by the title, today we're going to be talking about Darkness in the Light by Unearth. This was the band's fifth album, released on July 5th, 2011 through Metal Blade Records. Now, this follows up their previous album, which came out in 2008, called The March, and that was a pretty good album. And then it was been like a few years since that album, and they had a little lineup change. Like their old drummer had, I forget his name, had left the band. So on this album, they didn't have like an official drummer. They would later recruit Nick Pierce, who still plays with them today. But on this album, they have Justin Foley, the drummer for Killswitch Engage, playing drums on this. And it's funny because he plays drums on this album. And funny enough, Adam D from Killswitch actually produced this album. He actually produced a lot of Unearth's albums, and he's a really good producer as well as a good guitarist from Killswitch Engage. But anyway, Unearth, I think, in my opinion, is super underrated. These guys really deserve more. They're really talented and one of the best in the whole genre, coming up with the whole New England metalcore scene with bands like Killswitch Engage, Shadows Fall, All That Remains, God Forbid, bands like that. And Unearth really just are showcased really well. Production-wise, this album is fucking amazing. I remember first hearing it when it first came out, and it's still a damn good album. Let's just talk about like the vocals. Like Trevor Phipp's vocals, he definitely has like a lot of like aggression and puts almost kind of like emotion when he does his yells, and I just think he's just like a really sick vocalist. And then there's actually for the first time since their 2004 release, The Oncoming Storm, which in my opinion is still probably my favorite Unearth album. But they've actually have some clean vocals performed by guitarist Ken Susi. And I think Ken Susi is a really good singer. And I really wish he could use clean vocals more with Unearth, because he's a really good singer as well as a sick guitarist. Then the guitar work on this album is tight. Buzz McGrath and Ken Susi, just like the riffs are crushing and heavy, and just the leads are really great, right? Just like the soloing is just it's superb. Like, it's some really great musicianship, and the bass on this album is really audible. John Slow Megard's bass is heard really well in the mix, and drumming wise, Justin Foley does a really great job filling in on this album, and I think he's just a really solid drummer in general. Well, so without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is Watch It Burn, which starts off with some really sick harmonized guitars, and it just, from the very first listen, it's a instantly hit. And honestly, Watch It Burn is pretty much one of my favorite Unearth songs, just from the furious drumming to some like sick breakdowns, and then just the really fast parts, and then here we go with the clean vocals, which is just really great. It just fits in really well, and it's just some sick breakdowns as well. And I feel like it's just really placed well with the context of the song, and not like done so many times like a lot of current metalcore bands do. Cough, asking Alexandria, cough. But yeah, they move on to the next song, which is called Ruination of the Lost, which starts off right from the get-go with some sick melodic guitars and some solid drumming as well. Another great song. Shadows in the Light, which yet again, similar to Watch It Burn, offers some good clean vocals, and I really think it's incorporated well with some really good transitions and some really good breakdowns as well. Next up, we get to Eyes of Black, which especially I really love. Like in the middle of the song, there's a riff which kind of sounds almost kind of like Pantera a bit, or Down. It really kind of brings a little bit of a nice change of dynamic to the song, and it also puts you in a good mood. Last Wish. Now, musically in this song kind of reminds me of parts of like more recent songs from As I Lay Dying, be it like Notion Between Us or Powerless Rise. But this song is pretty good. Arise the World Cry, which starts off with some sick guitar work, and it just brings like the sickiest hook on the whole album just from behind it all. And then we move on to Equinox. Now, this actually kind of like where we have a little bit of something a little bit different, not heard since The Oncoming Storm, as well as with the clean vocals, has a piano intro performed by John Megard. All right, and it just really good incorporation as well as the sick instrumentation. It really kind of fits well with the song. Coming of the Dark, another has a sick build up with some really great riffs, and it just picks up with the tempo, and this song I would think would feel really good in a live setting, would get you pumped up. Then we get to The Fallen, which has a really catchy melody, and this song I feel like could be single capable, and I feel like a few songs are really good for like driving in a car. And then we move on to Overcome, which this song has some really great guitar work and a actually great solo. And I really love sort of like the vocals from Trevor, with sort of like Ken doing his clean vocals, sort of like the harsh and the clean, sort of like blending the two, which makes it really great and make it sound really unique. And then we close everything off with Disillusion, which has some of the best solos, and in my opinion, one of the strongest songs on this album. I think it's a strong way to end this album. It also shows a lot of further development of Unearth, and sort of like an introduction to sort of like the new elements, kind of like some of like their older stuff. Now overall, well, Darkness and the Light by Unearth, another great album in their discography. I really think these guys deserve more. So if I had to give this album a score, I'm going to give Darkness and the Light by Unearth a solid 9 out of 10. So yep, that's my review of the album, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the album, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.